Hello, and welcome to my 5-minute Assassination Rogue guide. The Assassination Rogue has a combo point based builder-spender combat style with some buff management. They have a strong sustained single target damage profile. They use a variety of stealth based mechanics. They are an accessible class that is strong early in the expansion. They are low complexity to learn. Let's find out what the Assassination Rogue brings for raid buffs and debuffs. They bring a 3% crit chance buff with Master Poisoner. This buff is also brought by Elemental Shamans and Retribution Paladins. They can reduce an enemy's armor by 20% with Exposed Armor. This is normally handled by warriors with Sunder armor since they have to commit less resources to keep it up. And finally, the buff that rogues are most known for in Wrath is Tricks of the Trade, a threat redirection and 15% damage buff to another player. Tricks of the Trade has a lot of uses. Let's go over the most common ones. The first is to Tricks the Tank. This is normally done in dungeons, when new adds spawn in a raid encounter, or on pole of a raid encounter. The next is to use tricks on a DPS player who gets a lot of value out of it. In the current fan server meta, Affliction Warlocks are one of the top choices for tricks. To see why, watch my video on Affliction Warlocks. The classic meta might change and a different class, like Arcane Mages for example, might become priority for tricks. The last common way to use tricks is to simply just trade it with another rogue. Just check to see which your team prefers. If they don't really care, this is often the default option. In the description of this video, there will be a link to some useful macros to ease the use of Tricks of the Trade. For utility, rogues bring a lot of crowd control, with 2 stuns in Cheap Shot and Kidney Shot, a 10-second disorient with Blind, and the hard, out-of-combat, humanoid, beast, demon, and dragonkin exclusive CC, Sap. They also bring a few other minor CC effects. Rogues are also the only class that can disarm traps and pick locks. The priority system for Assassination Rogues is very simple. You keep up Hunger for Blood, you keep up Slice and Dice, use Mutilate till 4 to 5 combo points, then use Envenom. As always, let's go over an example rotation. Before you enter combat, make sure you have the correct poisons on your weapons. If you have weapons of different speeds, make sure that the fast weapon has deadly poison and the slower weapon has instant poison. If you want to know why you put your poisons on your weapons like this, the best person to watch is another YouTuber by the name of The Simonize Show. If you're looking to get the most out of your rogue in classic World of Warcraft, I cannot suggest this YouTuber enough. Next, ensure that you are in stealth when you start combat. This is so you can proc your talent Overkill, as well as use one of your stealth abilities, in this case, Garrote. I chose to use Garrote in this case instead of Ambush because I need a bleed on the target to proc my next ability, Hunger for Blood. If another class such as a warrior or a druid is proccing your bleed, you can instead use Ambush. I then use the combo point I got from Garrote to use Slice and Dice. I then cast Mutilate until I have 4 or 5 combo points. Once I have the combo points, I use Cold Blood and Envenom. I then start casting Mutilate all over again to repeat the process. You can use Vanish as a cooldown to proc Overkill again. When it comes to rogue AoE, it's very important to know how many targets you're facing. If you're facing 2, 3, or 4 targets, you're better off using your single target rotation. If you're facing 5 or more targets, you can start spamming Fan of Knives. If you can anticipate an ad phase coming, try to Envenom right before the ad phase, then spam Fan of Knives. Here's an early game talent build. Okay, thanks, bye.